I'd like to talk about self-love and self-appreciation, and I probably refer to it as self-appreciation more than self-love, because self-love sounds icky for me. And so self-appreciation, I think, is better. It's better if you use words that are positive and in this present moment words, and words that, or feelings, hopefully, that if, say, your future self jumped into your body, you would feel something nice and not a body overwhelmed with negativity. Or so the first thing I want to say is that when you get the feelings of anxiety, or you're feeling down, or something sort of not sitting right, to just sit for a moment, and that's acknowledging its existence, and maybe, if nothing's sort of happened to have me feel this way, maybe it's your body telling you that something cool is about to happen, and you just don't, because it's such a stressful environment a lot of the time. We kind of get rewired in our brains about how things should be, but it's not. The rewiring's not very good, so we have to rewire the rewiring, so we can see ourselves for what we really are. Because society and a lot of people are very self-looking in the perspective, but if you can look at yourself from the perspective of a higher being might look at you, or how you would look at a child or someone in need, and so you give yourself that compassion and gentleness and kindness. And it's really nice to rub some scented oil, or something nice just over your forehead, and and just, if you've got any aches or anything, just you kind of flick them away down there, and they can be transmuted into love and sent around. There's a lot of people, including myself, that have been saying they've been feeling really, really, really tired, and there's a little bit of self negativity going on top of that. Feelings of uselessness, which somebody said to me, who I care for very much, and that's not an okay way to be sort of thinking about yourself. So I just also want to bring in that there's some really big planetary things happening very shortly, and they are going out throughout the year, and this isn't really about astrology so much. Some people I've talked to about it think it's an astrology thing. It's not. It's a planetary thing. So I know that from the second half of March, that the Venus and Mars, and I think Jupiter or Saturn, I think it's Saturn, I don't know where my planets all line up, but they're lining up. But it's the sun, you'll see Venus and Mars for sure, as the sun's coming up. It's kind of like they're moving in a way that Earth is eclipsing the sun. If you were having a view on Mars or Saturn or Venus, it turns out pretty much all the planets throughout the year all come along, and they're all sort of in a certain alignment, and they're the closest to the earth that they be for so many, you know, certain amounts of time. Who knows? But so we've got all that energy, and if you think that a lot of people who sort of practice magic do use the moon a lot, and we're moving really swiftly into a different sort of vibrating reality. So we sort of just got to like realize that we're important, that what we think matters. You can look on the emoto peaceproject.net. Emoto is the name of Dr. Emoto, who did the studies in the water. EMOTO peaceproject.net. There's another one there, but I don't know if it's the right one, but I know the other one, the one I just said, is good, and it's child friendly because the water knowledge is aimed at children so that they can become more in touch with themselves. This is what you, and there's lots of photos on there. So water changes shape depending on what you think to it, or what intention you have to it, or what you're sending towards it. The water changes shapes, and it looks like snowflakes patterns. They're all different, and depending on what the intention is towards them, or words written next to them, it changes what kind of pattern they make. So the more loving and kindness and compassion and selfless things is going to have beautiful patterns. They say you can write love and gratitude on all your drink bottles, and 72 hours later anything that was negative in them is no longer there, and you've got beautiful crystalline water structures in your drink that you will then drink and medicine your body with that good positive vibration that you put into the water. And this is all proven, and if you go to that website you'll see. So, and then there's water like all around us here. There's water in the air. We can't see it because it's in a gaseous form, but that's humidity. So there's water all around us. And then there's I'm sorry, I'm having a tough time too. It's very, very heavy energy. But I fixed my phone so I can record a bit longer, and it lets me tell you the more important things a bit more in detail. I hope I'm talking loud enough. So we'll have, with Mars and Venus being closer to Earth, their energies, it's like the power of three with the Earth, Mars and Venus. So we could be putting our intentions on those planets. So if the moon has this much energy, we can then, if you focus that energy onto the planets instead, maybe you should have them resonating and harmonizing with each other, so we can like visit each other and share knowledge, and also like there's the feminine and the masculine, like the women are from Mars, men are from Venus thing that was out like ages ago. So like that as a basic sort of thing kind of knows what energy you're playing with, but that's like male, female, and Earth is the one that's bountiful and pregnant. So you direct your energies more towards the planet and her brothers and sisters, or the sun energy, and it'll just be so much better than the moon energy. But just be careful with your stones, because some stones don't like the sun, and it can ruin their colors, and you just want maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes in some morning or afternoon, maybe not afternoon sun, but midday sun's okay, just not for too long, just 10 minutes. You don't want it to get too hot. but it'll supercharge it, because that's solar energy going into that crystal. And then when you're doing manifestations and works with all of the planets aligning, and bringing together, harmonizing all masculine and feminine energies, and I don't know, all our peoples vibrating on a level that we can communicate and help each other out, and raise our frequencies, because it's the things is in multi dimensions, or multiple levels of things. A lot of things we can't see with our own eyes, but it's a dimensional thing. So if you go higher up in the dimensions, you would see more colors and more beings, and you'd see the plants' auras and the trees' auras, and there'd be different tones within those things. You'd see the auras of the animals and the birds and things to be a lot more colourful and more bright. So that's why positivity is really good, to be putting that feeling out into the atmosphere and around you, and fill your heart with it. And also our bodies are like a whole heap water. So I can't remember what it is. Like it seems to range from maybe 60% to 90%, some people say. So I'm not really sure. But if you write love and gratitude on a bottle of water, and that water will be healed, and have beautiful structures because you were nice to it. It's a conscious thing. It's an alive thing as well. It's not, the water spirits. When I talk about the water spirits, they're actual beings. They're not, they you can see their faces and talk to them. But they're water, and they kind of look like us because they're our family, and we are water. So if you're thinking negative things about yourself, I shouldn't eat that, I do the wrong thing all the time, I've got all this cellulite on my legs, and I've got this big thing on my face, and I'm useless, and I can't do anything, and I'm feeling really fucked and tired, and I can't, drag my ass out anywhere. Well, that's okay. Stop talking bad about yourself, because those words is all nasty. And when you look at the photos of the pictures taken of the water, depending on what was intended at them, you'll see it's quite ugly, the things they become, that water structures become when negativity is focused towards it, and that's going to make you sick. So you can totally change the vibration of your entire body by saying kind things to yourself, saying kind things to the water in your body and around you, and healing that water around you, and it'll carry all the way across around the world, and hopefully lift everybody up, so we can, when we've been through all this stuff, that we can have a much better world, one where people aren't struggling and suffering and not getting proper medical help, and they just sort of get stuck in the systems, and nothing works right, everything's upside down, and I think we're being shown this the last few years, and I think that we can evolve overnight, and you've just got to believe in yourself, and talk to yourself positively, and reward yourself, because probably someone else won't really acknowledge you, and then that's just the way it's been for everybody who's trying to get somewhere. So we got to rely on ourselves, and we can do it. And the first thing to do is to realize you're a water, speak kind to yourself, speak nice to yourself, generate messages that are nice and kind, have them sort of if you don't want to sort of say that it's, don't put times on things or dates on things, that sort of, you need to let time be free and let things connect and work together to be in the right moment at the right time, and that something comes towards you, and not have expectations or preconceived notions of it, because all information's different, but it's also multi-leveled, so it depends on your perspective is at the moment as to what you see through the world. But if you can take the perspective and meditate for a little bit, that this is a vehicle that you are driving and looking after, and this is windows. This vehicle is run on water mostly, so we need to make sure that we're harmonizing the water inside our body so that resonates our auras and our frequencies that we're sending out, and waves, because we're all waves, everything's waves, and it's all intermingled. I hope that helps. You feel better about yourself. If you have any doubts, be your own person. Tell me, I'll tell you you're awesome. I will tell you you're awesome, and keep doing what you love. That's what we've got to do, and raise everything up so it'll all change, and it'll be really, really nice and healing for everybody, and including the planet. So I hope you enjoy the self-reflections, and remember, you're beautiful and you're kind and you are important and you are needed, and we will go into times of peace and freedom soon. Thank you.